Hi, everybody. So today we're going to do something new. We are going to be watching The Swan Princess in Blu-ray, celebrating its release. So I am Stacy, and I have a friend with me who is going to watch alongside. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Meg, and I swore to myself I would never watch this movie again.
I think I am one of the few who somewhat enjoy this movie. I like Odette, I like the songs, and I like the animation. Derek is kind of a no.
The worst.
No.
The worst is exactly what he is. So we're going to be doing a couple of these. Some of these we haven't seen. Some of these we have seen. This is the one we both have seen. I haven't seen Swan Princess in quite a few years, and I have grown to dislike it more over the years. I wasn't a big fan of it when I first watched it. It's a generic Disney ripoff. I think is the worst thing about it. But I don't like Odette. I think she's a bland twat.
Okay, well, we are about to get started with Swan Princess, the Blu-ray edition. If you would like to see full length, that will be over on my Patreon. Link will be in the description. And the video you will see on YouTube is the 10-minute highlight reel, so enjoy!
Here we go.
I'm excited. I just want to hear how angry this makes you.
Remember when Warner Brothers did good animated movies?
Like Quest for Camelot?
No, like Iron Giant. That came out 30 years before this, and then they came out with this shit.
Then, happily, a daughter was born, a princess, and she was given the name Odette.
We'll assume her mother died in birth.
You can't have a Disney knockoff without one of a parent dying.
Someday, I'll get my power back. And when I do,
I'll turn your daughter into a swan!
She'll never be able to make love.
You'll never have grandchildren!
I love that because it's like, he threatens you and you just let him walk away.
Right?
The children seem to get along quite nicely.
We'll join our lands if this arrangement...
He's choking her! Did you see them in the background? He was choking her! Oh my god!
This movie is secretly a murder story.
You know, so, like, at this point, they're 15, 16, maybe, in their teens. Yeah. And Odette looks fairly the same. It's the same hairstyle, just braided. And then towards the end of the song, where they've seen each other every year for months, just she's that like, one time.
Wow, she's so pretty.
Yeah.
She's so babe.
Like last year, you didn't think she was pretty?
And like, she's falling for it too! Like, what?
Really, what has Derek done for you? He's thrown tomatoes at you. He's ignored you.
And it's like, it's the same in reverse. Like, what has she done for you? Like, why are you suddenly, like, in love with each other?
You're all I ever wanted. You're beautiful.
But what else?
Oh wait, here comes the line. Here comes the line.
What else is there?
Fucking worst thing you could ever say to a woman. It's not even like he's like a dick or a bad guy. He's supposed to be the main character, and like the first thing he says to her is like, "Oh, you're beautiful, and nothing else matters."
you should write a book. How to offend women in 5 syllables or less.
See, Roger here is the hero.
Roger is honestly the only character I like in this movie.
Today's the day, Willie. Everything you own, everything you love, will be mine.
You know, maybe he has a tragic backstory that we don't see. Maybe he had a pet swan who... No, he had a wife who he turned into a swan by accident.
Or like a swan turned into his wife. And she died because she didn't know how to reproduce with a human.
The swan wife had a swan husband already.
Like, the swan husband is still a swan, so he's just pecking at him.
Who did this? A great animal.
Actually looked more like a large bat, but a great animal still works too.
Maybe they don't have bats in this universe.
I mean, okay, wouldn't be the weirdest thing.
We have someone turning into a swan only in the daytime. I think we could not have bats in this universe.
But what I really want is your father's kingdom.
There's like so many fucking plot holes with this. Like, why don't you just, I don't know, hypnotize her or hypnotize the kingdom to change the law or disguise someone as her, which she does later.
Yeah, he does.
Like, why go through all this trouble to like put her under this curse and like, I don't know, like blackmail her when you have magic, evil magic.
Me name is Puffin, Lieutenant Puffin.
Why is a bird a lieutenant?
That's your biggest question in this movie. Out of all the plot holes and inconsistency, that's your biggest question.
Yes, I'd like to know his backstory.
Probably
We need a backstory on every character except Derek and Odette. We need one on Rogers, Puffin, Rothbart.
A movie about Roger I would absolutely watch. I want to know how he got so sarcastic.
Every night you ask the same question, and every night I give you the same answer. I'll die first.
That's a cool character moment for her. Why can't we have more of that? I feel like she's being her own person and she's separated from Derek. She's fine. But when she's with Derek, I don't care. Sometimes they're trying to make an actual movie, and other times they just want to do what's popular because Disney made it popular. Even I think like the mother has a lot of personality.
Because I like Huberta too.
Yeah, no, she's fun.
How will I find him?
You don't know where he is?
I don't even know where I am.
Do you think she can talk to animals because she's now an animal?
That's how I always interpreted it. But also, like in the original Swan Princess story, I think like the animals could just talk to her before she even turned to a swan. So I think animals can just talk in this universe.
Animals can talk. There's no bats. There's bats!
There's bats!
There must be some way to break the spell.
You must make a vow of everlasting love.
Oh, this scene, I always think of Rose's post.
Yeah!
Derek, you useless bag of Brussels sprouts!
Promise me, Derek. You'll tell me who it is the moment she arrives.
Don't worry, Mother. You'll know.
Why don't you just say Odette is alive?
The movie would be over in 10 minutes, that's why. Wait, that's the Beauty and the Beast song!
It's far longer than forever.
Same chorus as the Beauty and the Beast music.
Longer than forever. Yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah!
Wow.
The same chords! What?
Uh-oh.
Love you, Derek.
That I love your beauty and nothing else.
Because I'm a useless bag of Brussels sprouts.
Yes!
You're in Puffin's army now. General Puffin.
Oh, he upgraded.
He promoted
He
himself.
promoted himself.
Wait a minute, wait. This is the same place. Did they just tidy up that castle?
I think so.
Like, literally the day of the wedding, like, hey, let's fix up this castle.
Will you love me, Derek? Till the day I die?
No, just kidding. Here's the divorce papers. So, your thoughts?
As much as I was being a bit of an overdramatic bitch, it's not as bad as I remember it, but it's also somehow worse. On reflection, there is a lot more good to the movie than I remember. I actually do like Odette when she's not with Derek. Basically, I like her when she's with the animals. And while I don't particularly always like the animals, I think, at least I feel like when she's with them and they in general, just at least they have personalities. Whether or not I like that, I have to give appreciation for that. But when she's just blindly being in love with Derek because that's what the story requires. Here's the thing. The movie, I think, is split into two scripts. I think it's split into a script of these writers who legit wanted to make a different, interesting princess movie, and the other half of the script was these writers who wanted to make this Disney knockoff because Disney was doing super popular shit at the time, and they wanted to see if they could market that. And I think that's the problem, because I feel like they shouldn't have done that. Disney does their thing, do your thing, you know? Just because it works for Disney doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. That's never been Warner Brothers' strong suit in terms of animation. Warner Brothers is really good at comedy. They are not good at like these emotional powerhouses, except with Iron Giant. That's like the only emotional powerhouse film that they ever did that was actually amazing. And I might be forgetting some other Warner Brothers movies that I like, but I can't think of them at the moment. I really do think the worst parts about this film is the romance, because I think it damages Odette's character, who is pretty good when she's not attached to that. So I actually have changed my point of view on Odette. I actually
Oh.
like Odette a little bit more now, but I do think that I do think when she is with Derek, she is just this very bland, generic character. And I think that kind of sucks. And really, it's like the romance and Derek, those are like my major problems, and those are the things I think that kind of damage the film. If they had either didn't make this a Swan Princess movie and just had this romance loom over childhood, or if they did make it a Swan Princess movie, cut out the romance, because it just either make it better or cut it out, because it clearly just wasn't working in terms of what they wanted. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Like I said in the beginning, I don't mind the movie. I take it for what it is mostly. I don't know, like some plots I would have liked fleshed out more. Like adding little things like Puffin being a general or a whichever rank he was. I don't really think there's a point to that, especially towards the end. He's now leading a fleet of swans that have no clue what he's doing. They don't even notice him.
Yeah.
Like if there's not gonna be a point to it, I guess why add it? Kind of. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, no, I totally agree. That's kind of a philosophy I've always lived on when writing and stuff. If it doesn't make sense, why add it? You know, like it's like or rather, if it doesn't add anything, then don't put it in. Like, don't put in pointless shit that will not affect the characters or plot in any way. It's just it's kind of that's the thing. Like this movie, you know. And listen, I get it. Like the Swan Princess is first of all, it was originally a ballet, which it should stay. This is clearly a story that is not meant to be adapted to screen, because nobody knows how to adapt this story to screen properly.
And things with Jean Bob, who thinks he's a prince who turned to a frog. Like for the most part, that was a tiny bit pointless. I can get that he wants to make Odette happy for her to kiss him so he can turn back into a human. I see that part. I feel it has somewhat of a point. He's trying to please Odette to stay with her, to have her love him instead. And back to Puffin, him just being a general is odd. Like, why? He's a bird.
Yeah, I think the Prince thing was meant to be kind of like a reoccurring joke, but they
Sure.
didn't bring it up that much. It was like, you know, it's like, oh, we're gonna introduce like this joke where he thinks he was human, but it never really goes anywhere. It's like they bring it up at the beginning, and then maybe like once in the middle, and then at the end. Like it's not even a reoccurring joke because they don't reoccur it. The thing is the fact that, you know, the story is supposed to be kind of vague, and because it was supposed to be strictly visual, because the thing about a ballet is that a ballet doesn't have dialogue or words or song in it. It's literally just you're seeing it through the pure visuals of it. It's a dialogueless story. And the thing is, adding dialogue, explaining the logistics when if you're not supposed to explain the logistics, or even just saying what the logistics are, it's like it just makes it all kinds of weird and confusing. And I don't know. I think it's a story that really just shouldn't be adapted. And I almost feel like it's the reason Disney never tried to. And if they did, maybe they would change it immensely because, hey, that's what they did with Snow Queen and the Little Mermaid. Those two stories are nothing like the original counterparts, which is fine. Yeah. They're loosely based on fairy tales, and I don't mind that. So I think that is all. So Stacy and I discussed that we will be doing this, or trying to do this, once a week. We have a list of films.
We do.
that we have in mind, and we're going to be releasing a very interesting one on a certain date later November because of a certain movie coming out.
Little teaser.
A little teaser, yes, and I think the next film is a film that I have never seen and swore to myself I would never watch. I said to myself this was the one Disney movie I was never going to watch.
And this movie I have seen a couple of times. It came out when I was younger. I don't really remember much of it. I only remember a certain song and the character, but that's it. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun movie.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun to comment on, that'll be sure.
Oh, yeah.
So we will see you people next week.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And again, if you would like to see the full length, that will be on Patreon. You can listen to all of our wonderful jokes and our saltiness towards this movie. So yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Far longer